Something much more serious now after the shocking weekend story of a baby boy left for dead in Sydney. Some people are asking if we should make it easier for parents to safely and anonymously abandon unwanted babies.
It's a miraculous story of survival. Barely 7 days in the world, 5 of them spent abandoned in this Western Sydney stormwater drain.
We were just there. Luckily, we were there. Someone was, someone was looking over us and told us to stop and have a look.
The baby boy's 30-year-old mother, whose personal circumstances are unclear, has faced court and been charged with his attempted murder. Right now in Australia, baby abandonment is treated as a criminal offence.
This is a place which is a difficult place for a mother to be in, where she feels that she's not capable of looking after her children and that she has no choice but to temporarily at least give up the care of her children.
But is there a right way to abandon a baby? In some countries, safe haven laws allow a parent to hand over their baby to the state without risk of prosecution. At least 15 countries go a step further, providing baby hatches to anonymously leave unwanted babies.
This really is a solution for a very rare event. At least in that impulsive moment, there's a place you can go and leave your baby, and that baby's going to be safe.
Secure baby hatches are usually attached to hospitals and sound an alert to carers once they've been activated. In Europe, where almost 200 baby hatches have been installed since the year 2000, more than 400 babies have been safely, anonymously abandoned. But the UN has expressed concern over the growing number of baby hatches, suggesting that they violate a child's basic human right to be known and cared for by his or her parents.
There's no evidence that they save lives, and more concerning is that there can be, it seems like, an increase in the number of children being relinquished into those baby hatches.
Although baby abandonment is rare in Australia, today there are renewed calls for safe haven laws and baby hatches in our country. It would certainly have been a better place to leave a baby than a stormwater drain.
Labor Senator Helen Polley has been pushing for new safe haven laws in Australia for years. Helen, why have you made safe haven laws your personal crusade?
Well, I'm passionate about these young babies that have been abandoned, and too many of those have been found and dead. And I think it's certainly overdue for this country to introduce baby safe haven laws to give women and babies that extra level of protection, when obviously these women are in a very, very desperate situation if they have to resort to abandoning their children.
So, Senator, if you can explain how these laws would work, I think one of your proposals is that fire stations, for example, could be a drop-off spot. I mean, that would be pretty impractical, dropping a newborn baby off at a fire station, wouldn't it?
Well, in America, right through every state of America have baby safe haven laws, and they utilise police stations, fire stations, ambulance stations and hospitals. And obviously this is the sort of discussion that we need to have, but there's no reason why we cannot have baby safe havens attached to our hospitals, which would give women who are in a desperate situation the opportunity to relinquish their child into a safe environment.
Helen, is the idea of a baby hatch that the baby is given up permanently, or is there a chance that the mother and the child could reunite down the track?
Well, in various countries, and I would be proposing here, that obviously the best outcome in any situation would be to have the baby reunited with its mother. And that would depend on the cooling off period. In some countries they allow 3 months for the mother to come forward and reclaim the baby. In Germany, for instance, a mother can take a footprint of her baby as she's surrendering it and leave any medical details with it, and she can come back at a later date and reclaim that child.
What would you say to the argument that baby hatches can make it too easy to abandon a child?
Well, from all the research that I've done, and I've been looking at this for a number of years across a range of countries, and there is no evidence whatsoever to suggest that having baby safe havens or hatches increases the rate of children that are abandoned. And let's not forget that these women are obviously in a very, very desperate situation before they'd even contemplate doing this. So this is a further layer of support that needs to be given to these mothers and in particular these babies.
Well, Senator Helen Polley, it's a really sensitive issue and we appreciate your time in talking about it with us tonight. Thank you.
I thank you very much for your interest.
I think that if you